Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making Bossam with Ssamjang and a little side Banchan for the Lunar New Year. So into a large Dutch oven, we need to add a quarter of a cup of sugar. I'm using palm sugar, just use brown if that's what you have. 1 white onion quartered, a 2-inch piece of ginger sliced, and 12 cloves of garlic. To this we're going to add 1 cup of coffee and 8 cups of water. To add even more flavor, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of gochujang, which is a Korean fermented soybean paste. We're going to give this a good mix, just until that starts to dissolve before adding in 2 pounds of pork belly. We're going to bring this up to a simmer, cover this with a lid, and let this simmer away for an hour. And while that's simmering, we can pickle some cabbage. So to a large bowl, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of warm water, a 1/4 of a cup of white vinegar, a 1/4 of a cup of sugar, which I forgot to film, and a tablespoon of kosher salt. Give that a mix until the salt and sugar dissolve. And I have about 12 cabbage leaves here, just cutting off that tougher end and putting the tender leaves into our pickling liquid. We're going to let that sit for an hour, giving that a flip every 15 minutes. While that is pickling, we're going to make a little kimchi radish. This is a quick one. You can buy this dried radish strip in your Asian market. So to a small bowl, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of our dried radish with a 1/2 cup of warm water and a 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce. We're going to let this rehydrate covered for 10 minutes. And while that's rehydrating, we're going to chop up 3 cloves of garlic and mince up 2 chili peppers. I'm using bird eye because that's what I always have. Use whatever chili pepper you have. We're going to add that to a small bowl, along with 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, a tablespoon of gochujang, 2 teaspoons of water, and a 1/2 teaspoon of soy sauce. We're going to give this a mix, set that aside, and chop up 1 scallion into strips. Now that it's been 10 minutes, we're going to squeeze out as much water as possible from our radish. This is going to add a wonderful, chewy, crunchy texture, and it's going to counterbalance that soft pork belly really nicely. Now we do need to saute this just to tenderize it a little bit more. So over on the stove, to a non-stick pan, we're going to add a tablespoon of neutral oil, add in our radish strips, and only saute this for 1 minute. After a minute, we can transfer it back to our bowl and let that cool down a little bit. Now this next part, I do recommend gloves for because it's going to get a little messy. We're going to start adding in our sauce and massaging that in, and once all the sauce is in, we can add in our scallions, massage that through, and finish it up. We're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of sesame oil and a 1/4 teaspoon of sesame seeds. Now that is pretty much done, and we can also drain off our cabbage leaves. It's been an hour, so just putting this on some paper towel in between each layer, and this and the radish can go in the fridge until we're ready to use it. Now it's been an hour. We're going to take off the lid, bang our tripod to shake our camera, and we're going to flip our pork belly. You can already see how tender this is getting. We're going to raise the heat a little bit, bring this up to a hard simmer, cover this up, and let it go for another hour. While that is going, we're going to make our dipping sauce, which is Ssamjang. So I've just minced up 2 cloves of garlic, chopped up 1 small shallot, and 1 scallion. Add that to a bowl, along with 2 teaspoons of honey, 2 teaspoons of gochujang, a 1/4 cup of our soybean paste, a 1 teaspoon of roasted sesame oil, a teaspoon of sesame seeds. We're going to give that a good mix and set that aside. Now it's been that additional hour. We're going to take off the lid, lower our heat to a lower temperature, let that simmer for additional 15 minutes, shut off the heat completely, and let this cool in the liquid a little bit before taking it out and chopping into nice large portions. To plate, I've just put this on my favorite platter from my very dear friend. We're going to add in our cabbage leaves, and I love shisa leaves with our wrap as well. It adds another flavor profile, and this is looking stunning. So now let's go ahead and make a wrap. So we're going to take one of our pickled cabbage leaves, can't forget the perla or shisa leaf, add that on top, grab a piece of pork, hope it doesn't escape, add that onto our cabbage and cheese. So I also made a chive kimchi on the side. I didn't film it because this video would be 3 hours. We're going to add in now our kimchi radish, a lot of it because I love it. And then we're going to top this with our ssamjang. And this is looking stunning and so appetizing. We're going to roll this up into a beautiful little bundle. And this is absolutely delicious. The pork is so tender. The kimchi adds The radish adds a little crunchiness and chewiness. The ssamjang adds a ton of flavor. And this is something so special and so delicious. And I really do hope you all try to make this in your home. But there it is, Bossam with ssamjang and a quick little radish kimchi. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I really do appreciate every single one of you. If you like this video, give it a like. If you loved it, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell because I put out new videos every Thursday. Thank you again. And until next time, happy cooking, as well as happy 2024 Lunar New Year, the year of the dragon.